Hello friend, welcome to Fearless World. We are going to start a study about NEBOSH International General Certificate in Occupational Health and Safety. What is IGC and how much paper we have to give exam to take the certificate of the IGC. I will introduce IGC here. IGC there are 5 elements, but in the recent change in the syllabus there is only also 5 element, but they divided on the basis of plan, do, check, act. But this is the old syllabus, and element 1 covered foundation in health and safety, element 2 policy, element 3 organizing, element 4 planning, and element 5 measuring, audit and review. So there are 2 written paper and 1 practical paper, and IGC written paper IGC1, this is the 2 hours content, 1 long 20 marks question and 10 short question 8 marks. This is the about IGC1 first paper. First paper is the written, second paper is also written exam, and third paper is practical. So if you want to clear the IGC, then you have to appear in the written exam, and there will be 1 long question and 10 short question, 20 and 8, that means 100 marks. You have to 100 marks will the full marks of the paper, and you need 45 marks to you need minimum 45 marks to pass IGC1. If you don't pass a unit, you can't take it again within 5 years period of the first successful unit. That means 5 years duration given to you to pass the this IGC1. But full course IGC1, IGC2 and IGC3 you have to pass within 5 years duration, and if you cross 5 years duration, then you have to re-registration again. So this is the about IGC1, and also IGC2 is same as IGC1, but in this unit in this next lectures we are going to talk about IGC1, so we only talk about IGC1. Then IGC if you want to pass IGC1 you need 45 marks. So we will cover element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All units will be covered in my next lectures, and I will cover one by one smoothly. Hello friend, once again welcome, and we are going to start element 1, foundation in health and safety. So we will study all things covered under the foundation in health and safety. So what will the learning outcome? Learning outcome will be the scope and nature of occupational health and safety. What will be the nature and what is the scope? And next, explain the moral, social, economical reason why we maintain or promote good standard of health and safety at workplace. We study on the basis of moral, social and economical reason. Explain the role of national government and international bodies in formulating a framework for regulation of health and safety. And also we will talk about national and international policies or governing body required to formulate. So we also talk about local law required for the safety, and also international bodies which work on the safety. So we will study both national and international, because this certificate is international certification. So we will talk about international standards, but according to your country you have to study your local law regarding safety. In the first unit we will study about scope and nature of health and safety. What is scope and what is the nature? The scope and nature of health and safety is multidisciplinary, barrier to good standard, and definition. We will first talk about multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary means what? That means in this we have to study both. Multidisciplinary means the person who want to study this health and safety, that means NEBOSH International General Certification, want to take, then they have to knowledge, multidisciplinary knowledge. That means they should have knowledge of chemistry, physics and biology, engineering, psychology, sociology, legislation, that means a standard that apply and strength and weakness of option. That means the person should have thoroughly knowledge about chemistry, physics, because all these subject help to understand the health and safety course, and we should have this subject knowledge for study efficiently. What is the barrier to good standard of health and safety? Then barrier is complexity of the workplace. That means if the workplace is complex, there is difficult to apply health and safety standards, and that means conflict. Second is conflicting demand. That means what? Suppose time scale, standard and budget. Suppose if you want to do a job in very short duration, then you will bypass safety. That means time scale is factor that stop or reduce a standard of health and safety at the workplace. So, and a standard and budget. If you have low budget, then that means if you have low budget, then you can't able to apply health and safety at your workplace. Behavioral issue. Behavioral issue is also effect of issue is the barrier to good standard of health and safety at workplace, because every people want to bypass safety, because people failing to act as desired or making mistake. People always make mistake, or they want to do as their mind do or their soul do. So people not react in a standard way, not act in a standard way at the workplace. They always bypass safety rules. So this is the behavioral issue, and that will become barrier or conflict or stop safety, health and safety at the workplace. Let's talk about definition and what is health. Because we are studying about health, safety and environment. That means what is health? Health means absence of disease or ill health. In simple word, we can say that health is absence of disease. That means no found disease and ill health. This is called health. And what is safety? Safety is absence of risk of serious personal injury. Any physical injury, if not found, that person is safe. This is the safety. One word definition: absence of risk of serious personal injury. And what is welfare? That means basic facilities required at the workplace. Suppose if you want to do work efficiently at the workplace, then something very basic thing required at the workplace. What is that thing? Then drinking water or toilet or refurb. That means something basic facilities required at the workplace. So this is called, we can define welfare: access to basic facilities. Let's start. Unit IGC 1, element 1.2, reason for maintaining and promoting good standard of health and safety. Why we maintain good standard of health and safety at workplace, we will study in this slide. We have already talked about why manage health and safety. So first one is moral reason, second one is legal and social reason, third one is economic or financial reason. There are three reasons to maintain health and safety at the workplace: moral, legal and economical reason. Or economical reason, economic is also called financial reason. Both are same. So if you not maintain health and safety at the workplace, then legal action may initiated at the company, because there is a local law. In India there is Factory Act law or Mines Act, different types of act present in India, and also in different country has personal local law, and also international law, that is called ILO, International Labour Organization, that formulate or health and safety. So it may initiate action on the company. So it is a legal requirement to maintain health and safety at the workplace. And economic, that means if anyone will injured or fatal injured or death at the workplace, then you have to pay compensation to that person, and also you have to give medical treatment. So your money will be invested on that person to maintain their health. So you have to also pay money as a compensation. So legal and economical reason. And moral, what is moral? Moral, that means suppose if you are working at the workplace and there are many worker under you, and if anyone injured, so as a humankind, that means you are human, so you can't see the pain of other. If other person will injured, then as a human you can't see like that. So moral reason is also that promote health and good standard of health and safety at the workplace. So there are three reason to maintain health and safety at the workplace. First, moral reason, legal reason, and economical or financial reason. What is the size of problem? That means in worldwide, how many persons injured, or what is the data, and why we should maintain health and safety. So there is a problem statistics given by ILO, International Labour Organization, that means 270 million accident and 160 million diseases a year due to work. Due to work, this 270 million accident and 160 million disease occurred at the workplace. So we have to maintain health and safety to stop this accident and disease. 2 million fatalities a year. 2 million fatalities occur at a year. So if you want to stop 2 million fatalities, then you have to maintain good standard of health and safety at the workplace. And due to this accident, 4% of global GDP is lost. That means this is, if you maintain health and safety, that means 4% will be growth, not lost. So if you maintain good standard of health and safety at the workplace, it will be economical benefit for the country, for the world. And 3,55,000 on the job fatalities is here. So this is the figure given by the ILO, International Labour Organization, which work on the international level. And this is the report of the ILO. If you maintain health and safety, then it can be reduced, and also GDP can be increased. So this is the reason, this is the problem we are facing without health and safety maintained at the workplace. Let's start talking about legal and social expectation. What is legal? That means we have already talked why we maintain good standard of health and safety. So moral, legal, and economical. So first one is legal and social expectation. International standards from the International Labour Organization, ILO, a country on health and safety standard. There are two legal social expectation found everywhere. First one is international standards. That means ILO has set also conduct a past convention, and in this convention they pass rules, and that should be followed all over the world. So international standard from the International Labour Organization is the international governing body, and also country on health and safety standard. Every country has their own health and safety standard, as in India, Factory Act, and also there are lots of acts related in every field, that means electricity, mines, also in dockyard. So every country has two laws. First one is international, second one is their own health and safety standards, that means local. So who is responsible for health and safety at the workplace? Who is responsible? So everybody everybody is responsible for health and to maintain health and safety at the workplace, but most of the responsibility lie with the employer to provide. Everybody is responsible, but the most of the responsibility depend upon lie on the employer. Employer has responsibility to maintain health and safety at the workplace and also care to employees, but it is not fully responsibility of employer to maintain health and safety standard at the workplace, but also employee has also responsibility to maintain health and safety at the workplace. So what is the employer responsibility? Employer is they will maintain safe place of work and safe plant and equipment, because employer plant is of employer, and so employer responsibility to maintain safe place of work, safe plant and equipment, safe system of work, and training, supervision, and competency of staff. That means they will maintain safe place, that means there will be no risks there, and safe plant, that means equipment should be safe and according to standards, and safe system of work, that means SOP should be provided there, that means how any risk activity will be done there, there should be a written statement, that means safe method of work should be there. Suppose if you want to do excavation, then how should we do, and this procedure given by employer, and training, supervision, and also employer has responsibility to train all the employee, and also supervision should be given to them, and competency of staff, that means every staff should be competent, that means they should have knowledge, experience, training, and ability. The business case, that means if accident happen, then how lost money, that accident and ill health cost money. We know that this is the financial reason to maintain health and safety at the workplace, but if accident happen, then it cost money in the two form. First one is direct cost, second is indirect cost. Cost may be direct and indirect. What will be direct? Direct means measurable, the cost that can be measured, that is called direct cost. Or indirect cost arise as a consequence of the event but may not directly involve money, often difficult to quantify. Indirect cost is arise from the consequence of the accident but not directly it can be measured. A health and safety failure can affect the broader economy as well as individual companies. Health and safety failure जो है it affect broader economy and also individual to the company. So generally if you not maintain health and safety at the workplace, then cost may be direct and indirect. Let's understand by using this figure cost of accident at the workplace. There will be two costs, insured cost or uninsured cost. What is insured cost? That means paid by the insurance company, and you can take from insurance company, but uninsured cost you can't take from insurance company. So insured cost means fire, worker injury, death, medical cost. Uninsured cost means the loss of raw material due to accident, sick pay, overtime, equipment repair. If you invest money on equipment repair, that can't be given by the insurance company. Lost material during the accident, if material will be lost, that will not paid by the insurance company. There will be two costs according to insurance, insured cost and uninsured cost. If you look this picture, then only 10% part is over the water, but more than 90% part is inside the water. Then if you compare, then this is the 10 times greater than top part. That means insured cost is very less compared to uninsured cost. That means if accident happen, then your loss will be greater, because insured cost can be covered by insurance company, but uninsured cost not will be covered by insurance company. You have to pay yourself. That means accidents should be prevented at the workplace. Let's talk about IGC 1 element 1.3, role of national governments and international bodies. What is the role of national government and international bodies? First one, role of national government and international bodies, International Labour Organization ILO, and also Agency of United Nations. This is the ILO is the Agency of United Nations. Most countries are member. Most countries of this world are member of ILO and sets international standards for health and safety by publishing. They set standards by standards for health and safety by publishing. And also every year they held a convention at the Geneva, and convention and recommendation. What is convention? Every member of the country meet and pass a rules, that is called convention. And recommendation, according to convention they make some standards and pass. This is called recommendation. There is difference between convention and recommendation. Convention is legal binding, but recommendation is not legal binding. It is the complement, that means how convention can be followed at the workplace. This is the only suggestion. So convention is the legal binding. The country who ratify the convention, they have to follow their rules in their country. Convention, we have already talked about convention. Convention means create a binding. That means if you are member of the ILO, International Labour Organization, then and if you ratify that convention, then you have obligation to or policy to implement their provision in their country, and no legal authority unless ratified. I have already told you that if you not ratified that convention, there is no legal binding to apply in your country. But if you have ratified that convention, this is legal binding to apply in your country by the member state into its own legal structure. And what is recommendation? I have already told to you, this is the only guidance document, that means providing guidance on policy, legislation and practice. That means how convention can be followed in your country. This is the only guidance document. In convention there is no broad knowledge on that particular topic, but recommendation give the broad knowledge about that and how that can be applied at the workplace. In the field of health and safety, there is a C155 convention, that means regulation adopted by the International Labour Organization ILO, Occupational Health and Safety Convention C155, a goal setting policy for the companies and nation. C155 is the convention number in which make rules about occupational health and safety, and this is the recommendation given by on the C155 occupational safety and health recommendation 1981 R164 supplement of C155. I have already told to you, convention is the rules, but the recommendation is the guidance of the convention and give more guidance on how to comply with its policy. That means it gives broad knowledge about the convention. So we will talk about this a lot during the course. In the next lectures, where required, we will talk about convention and recommendation given by the International Labour Organization on different topics. What is employee responsibility according to Article 16 of Convention C155? Convention 155 has many articles, and Article 16 states that responsibility of employer. What is the first responsibility of employer? Ensure that workplace machinery, equipment and work process are safe and without risks to health. And second one is ensure that chemical, physical and biological substances and agents are without risks to health when protective measures have to be taken. And third one is provide adequate protective clothing and equipment to prevent risks of accident or adverse health effect. So these are the responsibility according to Convention C-155 Article 16. But what is the responsibility of the employer according to Article 10 of Recommendation 164? So then Recommendation 164 give the guidance according to convention, and this first one is provide and maintain workplace machinery and equipment and use working method that are safe. What is first? First one is provide and maintain workplace. This is the first responsibility of the employer according to Article 10 of Recommendation 164. This is the not legal binding, but this is the guidance document of the convention. And second one is give necessary instruction, training and supervision in the application and use of health and safety at the safety measure. That means employer has the responsibility to give necessary instruction, training and supervision to the employee. And third one is introduce organizational arrangement relevant to activities and size of undertaking. And fourth one is provide PPE and clothing without charge. Employer has a responsibility to provide PPEs without any charge and ensure that work organization, particularly working hour and rest break, does not adverse affect occupational health and safety. Working hour and rest break, it should be not affect the health and safety at the workplace. And take responsibility, take reasonably practical measures with a few eliminating exercise, physical and mental fatigue. If they found fatigue, then this employer should provide rest and keep up to date with scientific and technical knowledge to comply with the above. That means employer has a responsibility to keep up to date scientific and technical knowledge to comply all the health and safety rules at the workplace. So these are the employer responsibility according to Article 10 Recommendation 164. ILO has not only Convention C-155 on the occupational health and safety, but it also published convention associated with the specific hazard. That means C-115 radiation protection 1960. That means in 1960 they make a meeting on that is called Convention 155 on the topic of radiation protection, and C-162 on the topic of asbestos, and C-165. What is C-167? What is C-167? That means Convention 167. This is the number. That means 167 times already they have meeting done at the ILO center. And health and safety in the construction 1988. So these are the some particular topic they have made convention, C-155, 162 and 167. What employer must provide? Employer must provide safe place of work, safe plant and equipment, safe system of work, and training and supervision to ensure competency. These are the 4 points which employer should ensure at the workplace. There is a new word in previous slide. What is competence? Competence means 4 things. You can remember as a KATE. That means K means knowledge. The person who is competent, that have knowledge, ability, training and experience. If they don't have knowledge, that person is not competent. If don't have ability, that is not competent. Don't have training, not competent. Don't have experience, not competent. Then that means a person, if you want to say a person as a competent person, then you have to they should have KAT. That means knowledge, ability, training and experience. If 4 of them, one is missing, that means that person is not competent. We have already studied about what is the responsibility of the employer according to ILO. but in this slide we will study about workers responsibility according to Article 9 Convention 155 and expand in recommendation 164 as follows. First one is, every worker has responsibility to take reasonable care of their own health and safety and that of other people. That means they will care himself and also care of other, which the person who is working around them, they have to care. And second one is comply with the safety instruction and procedure, and also worker has responsibility to comply with the safety instruction and procedure. That means the procedure given by the employer they should have to follow, and use all the safety equipment properly. That means all the equipment given by the employer to the employee, they have responsibility to maintain safely and use properly. And fourth one is report any situation that have believed could be a hazard and which they can't themselves correct. If they found any hazardous place, any hazard at the workplace, immediately employee should have to inform to the employer without any delay. And if they can that means maintain safety there, they can maintain, but if they can't correct them, they have to inform to the employer. And last one is report any work related accident and ill health. If they found any accident and ill health at their workplace, then he have to inform, report to the employer or line manager or supervisor. So this is the 5 responsibility of the worker according to Article 19 Convention 155 and Recommendation 164. And what is the worker right? That was the responsibility, but what is the worker's right? There are 4 workers' rights. First one is given adequate information on the action the employer has taken to ensure health and safety. If worker is working on a workplace, that means worker has right to know about what types of control measures have been taken to ensure health and safety at the workplace. And second one is give the right to necessary training in safety and health, and also they have right to take training on health and safety. And third one is consulted by the employer on all matters. Then this is the right of the employee, that employer should consult to employee about all matter of health and safety. And fourth one is give the right to leave a workplace that has reason to think present at imminent and serious danger to his life and health, and not be compelled to return until it is safe. This is the right of the employee that if he found at the workplace that is unsafe, then they can leave without any information. And so this is the right of the employee, and they can't be compelled to return at the workplace until it is safe. That means until workplace is safe, they can't be compelled to return at the workplace. We have already talked about the legal reason. There are a lots of enforcement agencies worldwide, but there is no harmonized global standards in the world, because ILO also not cover all the world country, but the country who ratify the ILO convention, they only follow the rules of the ILO, but they have their specific health and safety rules. So no harmonized global standards. Country specific agencies may include health and safety enforcement agency, fire authority, insurance company, and policy may involve in enforcing health and safety law in some country. Every country has different agencies to enforce health and safety at the workplace. There is no harmonized global standard. So if you want to work in different countries, then you have to study the local law of that country, because there is no international standards that followed by the all country. And what will be the consequence of non-compliance? if you break the rule, if you breach the health and safety legislation, then what will be the consequence? Consequence will be the breaches of health and safety legislation is usually a criminal offense leading to enforcement action. If you break the rule, then it may be enforcement action may be initiated at that company. First one is improvement, that means you have to improve, and second one is prohibition, that means enforcement agency may prohibit to work at the workplace. And prosecution, organization may be fined or individual may be fined or imprisoned. That means if organization violate the law, safety law, they may be fined 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, depend upon the local law. And if any worker will violate the health and safety rules, they may be fined or imprisoned. If any accident happen at the workplace, then claim for compensation, that means fault based compensation. What is fault based compensation? Fault based compensation means you have to prove that is not my fault, and this is the fault based compensation. That means worker bring claim against the employer. Worker have to claim against the employer that I am not in fault, and company will have to pay. Or civil legal system, that means they have to do FIR. And third one, must prove employer was negligent and therefore to blame for injury and ill health, and worker will blame that employer is not that means employer was negligent, then they have to, that means employer was negligent about health and safety and they have to pay fine. This system was in UK and USA. And what is no fault system? No fault system means you don't need to prove that I was not in fault, employer was in fault. Nation or regional scheme, no need to prove negligence. In this system you no need to prove negligence, and decided by the panel of expert, no lawyer or court. In this you don't require lawyer or court. This found in New Zealand and Sweden. Other international standards, there are other international which also ensure health and safety at the workplace. International Organization for Standardization, you already know about ISO, world largest developer of management standard. For example, ISO 9001, it ensure quality management. ISO 14001 ensure environmental management. ISO 12100 safety of machinery. These are the ISO standards. Every company take the certification of ISO by ensuring all the rules of the ISO 9001. That means if you want to take ISO 9001 certification, then you have to apply all the rules of ISO 9001 at your workplace. And in this rule also safety is integrated. So this also ensure health and safety at the workplace. These standards are not law, they are good management practice. So this is not law, this is the good management practice. If you take the certification of this ISO, then in the global market your value will be high, and they lead to worldwide common approach to good management, and also it ensure management. And also other international standards, international recognized standard for occupational health and safety, you also know about OSHA's 18001 is also, this is the certification given to the company. It also ensure health and safety at the workplace. If you want to take certificate of OSHA 18000 of your company, then you have to adopt all the you have to apply all the rules of the OSHA 18001 at your workplace. Then this will certify your company. That means this is the certification given by the OSHA 18001 to your company, and it make your company a standard at the global market and compatible with ISO 9001 and 14001. This is also compatible. That means maximum rules are matched both. That means OSA 18001 and ISO rules are matched each other. So these are compatible. Source of information. From where you will get source about health and safety, where you get information about health and safety rules. There is two source, internal and external to the organization. That means in your organization a lots of health and safety rules are there, that means internal and external. So there is two source of health and safety information, internal and external. List all internal and external source you can think about and discuss them. We have already talked about two sources of information. First one is internal, second one is external. That means what is internal? That means inside your organization. Inside your organization there is an accident record, accident book. You found there how many types of accident occurred in the past year. You can get all information there. Medical records and how many person get treatment. You can take risk assessment. That means by using risk assessment you can find where is risk and how much risk, and maintenance report. You can also find information about safety according to maintenance report inside your organization. And safety inspection. And safety inspection also ensure unsafe condition and unsafe act found at your workplace. And also audit report give you about how you comply with the health and safety rules. And safety committee minutes, and that means safety committee meetings also give you information about what the outcome of the safety committee, and that also give you information about the health and safety at the workplace. And what is the external source of information? National legislation. That means the rules about health and safety in your country, that will give you also information about how you maintain health and safety at the workplace. And also safety data sheet, SDS. And safety data sheet also give you information about any materials used at your workplace. Code of practice. There are lots of code of practice which also give you information about health and safety. Guidance notes and operating instruction and trade association. There are lots of trade association in your country and also in the world, that will also give you a source of information about health and safety. And safety publication, also magazines and lots of also newspapers will give you about the health and safety information. So there are two types of source of information. First one is internal and second one is external. You can also contact this website. You can also browse this website in your laptop or in your mobile to get more information about health and safety. So first one is International Labour Organization, UN agency. You can open this website in your using internet. That will give you more information, a lots of information about the health and safety. And second one is Occupational Health and Safety Administration. That means this is the agency of USA. And if you open this website www.osa.gov, then this will also give you a lots of information about health and safety. And also European agency, EU. If you this website you have to open for more information. And Health and Safety Executive UK, this website give you details information about all topics. I have already used these websites. And if you want to take information from Western Australia and a standard adopted there, then you have to browse this. You have to open this website, and lots of information are given there and standards that will help you to maintain health and safety at your workplace. So these are the very useful websites. If you want to learn something, if you want to learn deep about health and safety standards used worldwide, then you have to follow these websites, and a lots of information are given there. I have given you all information about health and safety, what we have to read in unit IGC unit 1 and in element 1. And first let's recapitulate what we have studied. So first, I have already told to you IGC 1 is the written paper, and if you want to pass this IGC unit 1, then you have to secure 45 marks out of 100. And what was the syllabus? Let's recapitulate. First one was multidisciplinary nature of the health and safety. That means you have to broadly knowledge about physics, chemistry, biology, psychology. And second, we have studied about barrier to good standard of health and safety at the workplace. What was the barrier? And we also studied about the definition, health, safety, welfare. And also we have studied about the size of the problem and expectation of good standard of health and safety at the workplace, social expectation, and the business case for health and safety, and insured and uninsured cost, and the international framework ILO, and employer responsibility about health and safety, and social expectation, business case for health and safety, role of enforcement agencies, and consequence of non-compliance we have already studied, and other international standards and source of information. So in this unit foundation in health and safety, we have studied these topics. I hope you like this video, and if you like, then comment and also share with your friend. That will help to gain knowledge through my video. And